Okay, this is the Shahs of Sunset, Season 9, Episode 13, High and Dry. And this is the finale before the reunion. Okay, so the group goes on like a little fly fishing experience out in the water, out in the lake. Some instructors, they're showing them how to, flick the rod and all that stuff, because it's not like regular fishing where you just throw your line out and just kind of wait. You kind of gotta like flick it back and forth, and there's some technique to it, something I ain't never did before. I probably would struggle at that like they was, but everybody got along, and nobody fell in the water. I was thinking that maybe MJ or Destiny was gonna do it, but nope, they all held on, which was cool. Then we flipped to dinner because nothing was really going on in that first part except for them just playing around in the water. Then they go to dinner. But first, Glenessa, of course, she got something up her sleeve. Everybody got to put on some type of costume. And the costume is a spirit animal that she picked out for everybody. So everybody's something different. They get to dinner, and she done hooked up a marijuana-infused entree, I can't remember everything they had, but it looked pretty good. It sounded good, and it wasn't like too much, just enough to just get the juices flowing. If you ever ate edibles, you can't eat too much, especially for first timers. You gotta ease them in there. So everybody was smashing though, and she handed out these cards for everybody to read, and on the card it explained what that animal represents and how it ties into their own personalities. Kind of like horoscope-ish type deal. Just a little recap, I think. Let's see. Mike was a bat. Gigi was a bear. Destiny was a hummingbird. Reza, hyena. Nima was a horse. Shervin was a cougar. London was a deer. She had her antlers all over the dang place. What was MJ? MJ was a crow. And is that it? I think that's all of them. Oh, I remember it. Okay. And yeah, they all reading off their little things, and they're like, oh, okay, I like it. Ooh, yeah, that's me. I like it. Ooh, okay, cool. And who we get to last? Mike. So he reading off his bat thing. And as soon as he get to saying something like he's faithful or something, Reza starts to laugh like and I guess that works for him being a hyena, because what do when they're not supposed to be laughing. So Mike was like, see, Reza, exactly what I'm talking about. You always put me down, So here we go with Mike. So, Mike doesn't really go all the way in on Reza because Destiny jumps in, and she just adds the little 2 cents, which is Paulina. Like, where is Paulina? Why she couldn't come? Why you ain't bring her? Type deal. And it all boils down to is they think Mike is just controlling this girl, and she can't do nothing without him telling her what she can do, which is pretty much why she's not on a trip, because he would have bought her, you know what I'm saying? But he said no. So, but last episode we found out, talking through Destiny, that they had broken up, right? So Destiny, when she's saying this, she's just kind of holding everything in. She's like, I just know so much, so it's the only reason why she just had to butt in, which was okay because it took the heat off of Reza. And Mike just excused himself. So he go into the house, and while everybody is talking about him pretty much behind his back, MJ pulls him to the side and was just trying to tell him, like, can't you just admit that what you be doing is just, some bull. You be lying all the time and everything. Like, can you just admit it? And he kind of does pretty much, and just says, because if you back Mike into a corner, you actually can get it out of him. I've kind of noticed that. It just takes so long for him to get there. He got to argue and fight his way to try to prove a point that's never going to get proven, and then he'll, give in. So he says, okay, he admits he has a problem with attention, okay? Pauline ain't giving him enough attention, so that's probably why he was texting other girls, or, whatever he was doing with the other girls, because whoever he with just ain't enough attention for him. okay, fine, we'll take that excuse. Well, yeah, we'll take that excuse. But it's really not an attention thing for me. I don't know. He just got a problem. He just can't be with one girl. So why don't you just say that? But he does tell MJ that they're on a break. And for her, I mean, like, does that mean y'all broke up? He's like, no, we're still together. We're just taking a break from each other. So it's like, okay, fine, same thing. She just want him to just say that to the whole group, you know, just let everybody know type deal. Ooh, piece of hair or something. Okay, then they go outside and they're around the fire, and Gigi found some type of spirit lady, and she is giving them these little pieces of paper, and she's telling them, write down something that you want to, you know, release or let go, blah, 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 you know. A lot of people do this thing. And you're supposed to burn the paper in the fire and let it go, you know, release it into the universe. And everybody goes around, you know, for their own little personal issues or whatnot. And when it comes to London, of course, the girl is long-winded. She just goes on and on and on. You know, she's like Dorit from Beverly Hills, or like a Quad from Married to Medicine. Like, whenever you give them the mic, they be just taking, like, okay, it's my turn. And they need at least 10 minutes to get it out. So she had like maybe 3 or 4 things to let go of. Sherman was actually cool. He went last because he released something for everybody, and I thought that was kind of cool. And you know, no fighting. That's a good thing. So MJ basically tells Reza about Mike and Paulina on their break. So for Reza, he's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, his little gloat moment just kicked in because he's like, this is exactly what I was trying to say in the first place. Like, it all came true. Like, you know what I'm saying? I told you so. It was that I told you so moment. But he's like, well, I'm not going to, you know, rub it in right now. I'm going to hold it in. But this is exactly what I was trying to say. And so, you know, they have their little last breakfast or whatnot. And with this knowledge, MJ just wants to open it up to the floor and just tell everybody, like, okay, so if we're gonna leave here, you know, let's try to leave on a high note. Let's leave on like another level of our friendship, you know, blah blah blah, which opened the doors for Mike to speak. And Mike was like, yeah, you know, I've basically been holding back from y'all. He's like, and he instead of describing a bat, which was his little spirit animal, he's like, yeah, y'all started coming at me and I didn't know who was what, because, you know, first it was Reza, then it was Destiny, and it's Gigi, like, everybody's coming at me and I can't fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I just run and hide in my little turtle shell and blase blue, whatnot. But basically he's just trying to tell him, like, every time I say or give y'all something about me, then y'all want to beat me up about it, and I be feeling bullied and I be feeling attacked, and I don't want to feel that no more. I'm trying to get comfortable to where I can just open up to y'all and let y'all know. So what is this that you're trying to open up about, Mike? About Paulina. You know, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose her and I'm gonna end up alone. So, you know, right there it was like a little light bulb, and everybody was like, okay, finally he's just about to admit whatever it is he's about to admit. Yeah, so Mike just admits that he's a cheater, he ain't no good, and he might need some help. and, like, in all honesty, he tells them, yeah, I was still going and messaging other girls, and she found out, and, you know, she just wasn't with it. So I'm gonna have to work on myself and figure some things out. And of course, Vanessa's like, yes, thank you. You need to leave her while you go and figure this out. Like, it just only makes sense because you don't want to be hurting her. Plus, you're going to be hurting the babies in the process. So, come on now, you know. And with that, pretty much the whole group, they all can kind of just exhale because they've been just waiting on Mike to just, like, I don't know why it's just so hard for you to just answer a damn question straight. When you know the answer and you be trying to think of a lie and it just never works. That's just all. Like, and you wanting attention stuff, that's not like, yeah, he's like, I want a lot of attention. He must have, I want a lot of attention too. I enjoy the chase, you know what I'm saying? I just like to know I still got it, you know, that type of energy. And I'm like, I guess, Mike, just you will play it from the Himalaya. Okay, you ain't gonna stop till, I don't know, your balls fall off. It's like, nah, he'll meet somebody and then I guess he will stop. But in the meantime, yeah, I agree with Gigi. Just let Paulina go and figure your shit out. Or don't figure it out and go and be with 10 girls at once or whatever he do, when he not in a relationship. So have at it. You and Nima and Shervin, that look like the crew right there. So they packing, they getting ready to go. And of course, Reza, he's writing down a little letter for Tommy, and he just wants to ask, make sure MJ read it, make sure it's good, it sounds good, something to the nature of, I regret things, not seeing baby Shams is a death sentence, and anything I can do to change it, I will, type letter, and we just got to see if Tommy's gonna accept it. Now MJ, I might have to rewind it, but who's a $160? You girl, $180. Let me leave her alone. All right, rewind just a little back. So vacation's over. Everybody goes home. Rah rah rah. We had a good time. Back to the real world, and we kind of get our little finale montages. Nima is being bi-coastal to New York with his job. Gigi finally done moved into her new home with her baby. Destiny's doing good with her life and, whatever she's got going on. I'm assuming London was alright and sure. And, and then Mike, he's talking, he's walking, he's talking, he's walking. And he's coming to some realization that, I guess he really loves Paulina. So where does he end up? At Paulina's house. It looks like they've gotten back together. That's where reunion comes into play. So we'll get to that. I'm sorry it's a little late, guys. It is what it is. It was on the back burner and I just kept forgetting to watch it. So I wanted to get this out the way, at least before Salt Lake City. But anywho, MJ goes home, Tommy, and she has this book, but she put it's like a postcard that Reza wrote his little letter on. And she's like, yeah, you want to read this letter? And he's like, I don't want to read it. And she's like, can you please just read it? It's just read it. And he's like, nope. What is it supposed to do? Like, I'm going to read it and then all of a sudden I'm going to be happy and come to some type of realization that, oh, he just had a bad day. No, it just doesn't work like that. I'm feeling a type of way and I'm going to feel this way until I decide to let it go. You do what you want, MJ. But over here, I'm going to be over here. It's going to be a point that I can be in the same room with him. But as of now, I don't even want to talk to him. I don't want to speak to him. No. He should have apologized a long time ago. And that's just what Tommy is on. So MJ is kind of in between a rock and a hard place because, that rock, Tommy, your cousin from Boston, yeah, he's not budging. And that hard place, which is Reza, is, not so easy to get through. So how are we going to mend this friendship if we can't get Tommy on board? So that is the dilemma, and that is their life. And this was the Shahs of Sunset. This is a little short it was the finale. Wasn't much going on. They were still in the woods. It was kumbaya, and everybody was getting along. And this was the season. It was just a bunch of Reza MJ beef as always. Gigi's gotten herself straight. Nima is still on the prowl. Mike is trying to get off the prowl. And Destiny is still blown in the wind. So I'll see y'all later. I enjoyed the season and we still got reunions and we're good. All right, bye. Bravo TV, Shahs of Sunset.